Hello, I'm just setting up the OBS software for the recording. Desktop audio is on 0.0 decibels currently, and we're back in Explain 12.4. And as you can see on the screen, we are back in the Dornier 328, an aircraft that I've not flown for a couple of months, but I thought I would have another flight in it. And today we're also going to be using a plugin called XP Career for Explain 12, and I'm going to bring that on the screen for you to have a look at now. It is available on the explain.org website. I'll bring that across for you. Let's put that onto full screen. So it is available on the explain.org website. It's $12.99, so it's not expensive. You can do the maths in your own currency, and you've got a load of screenshots to go through there as well. And you got your description of what Explain Career plugin is, and what it does, and you got the requirements, any videos, got the launch trailer there, and you've got version history. On the explain.org website, it's release version, I think it's currently at 1.4.5 on this website, but there has been a new build released for it, and I can show you that build, which is 1.4.10, and this obviously brings in new stuff into the plugin, which I'll go through shortly. Let me just bring that up on the release notes for you. There's the Discord page as well to the Explain Career app, the XP Career app. If you want to go on the Discord and get involved, the developer of the app is approachable. He's open to suggestions, and if you've got any things you'd like to see developed into the app, then make that this suggestion, and the developer will listen to you, and if he can do it, he will put them into the app if he feels it's worthwhile doing. If the suggestion's a good suggestion to make the app and plugin better, he's open to any ideas. I've messaged him myself about a few ideas. One of them was the freelance idea, and I'll be showcasing that this evening. But yeah, there's a lot of releases. He seems to be getting a new release every day or every other day, and yeah, the one on the store at the minute is still 1.4.5, which features added a new hardcore mode into the app, which gives you less money, or start with 0 money, and also you can also have not start with a free aircraft. The free aircraft is literally disabled in the hardcore mode, but that's an option you can choose when starting a new profile. Obviously your job base is also reduced by 50%, and you cannot take a jet ride until the minimum flight hours for the type rating are met. But that's hardcore mode. That's not going to be for everybody, but for those of you that want a bit more of a challenge, that hardcore mode is for you. There's other updates in the 1.4.5 build. Helicopters will no longer fail active runway and centerline checks when taking off from helipads and hovering to taxi. And job settings max distance slider was increased to 7,000 for long haul jobs. So you can do longer jobs from 1.4.5 onwards. But on the 3rd of March, there was a new build, 1.4.7, which I don't think is available on the store yet. The store version, I believe, is still 1.4.5, but maybe the developer can correct me on that. But the 1.4.7 build was released on the 3rd of March. Adds a new feature called range endurance estimates. So what that does basically is when adding jobs and setting fuel, flight time and distance estimates are now displayed under the fuel info in the main window. We'll take a look at all this when I bring the app up. Other updates in 1.4.7 included job distance settings have been changed from setting a single average job distance to a minimum and maximum distance range for more user flexibility, and several UI polish updates have been implemented across all plugin windows. And on the 4th of March, version 1.4.8 was released, and this offered it added confirmation dialogue when deleting a profile. So if you were going to delete a profile, I guess it just comes up with, are you sure you won't delete this profile, or something like that, I'm guessing. And on the 6th of March, release version 1.4.9 was released, which is the one I was looking forward to testing. And the new features of 1.4.9 was the freelance mode, and the developers put a freelance mode option is now available to allow pilots the option to run a job from any location in any aircraft they choose. When running a freelance job, base payouts are reduced by 25%, and your location and aircraft will not be saved to your career profile up on completion of the job. Freelance mode is not available in hardcore mode pilot profiles. Okay, so basically then, freelance mode is, well, I'll run through the versions first, and I'll run through what does what on the plugin to make it easier. So let's just go through the next update, which was on the 7th of March, and that was 1.4.10. And so this version was released yesterday, and it includes a pushback detection. So it's added a ground speed monitor while engines are off to detect that pushback and allow for engine startup without failing the parking brake check. Basically what that means then, if you're in an airliner, like for example I'm in this Dornier 328 this evening, which depending on where you're parked or what gate you're at, I might need to push it back. But if you're on an Airbus or you're in a Boeing or a jet or something, and you're at the gate and you can't go forward, so you need to use the pushback truck to push it back from the gate. And then normally when the aircraft's being pushed back, you go through the engine start sequence. And what was happening before, I believe, is when you were going through the engine start sequence, the plugin was failing you on the parking brake check, because I think you need the parking brake on and set before you could start the engines to pass that check. So the developers now written a logic into the plugin which means that when you are pushing back now, you can start the engines and you won't fail the parking brake check, because the parking brake won't be on because you're being pushed back, and the parking brake needs to be off during pushback. So that's now been included. I know, looking at the Discord, I know a few people were getting caught out by that, but that's now been fixed. And the aircraft settings, so the developer has added checkboxes to disable and enable beacon and landing lights, and this is for aircraft that are not equipped, so they will not fail the corresponding safety checks. Also, aircraft with only strobes to be detected in place of a rotating beacon, like a diamond aircraft. So yeah, so there's loads of different aircraft, whether it's stock aircraft that are in the game by default, whether it's a Payware aircraft or whether it's a freeware aircraft. Obviously, the XP Career plugin reads your aircraft file, so it reads all the aircrafts, and obviously there's some aircraft that don't have strobes and, you know, beacons or stuff like that. So a lot of these users again obviously failing some of the check rides and stuff because the plugin wasn't recognising this aircraft at this and this aircraft at that. So the developers obviously put now stuff in place so to fix all those, which is good. And there's a few bug fixes, like a fixed UI not showing insufficient funds when trying to start a check ride without enough money, fix being able to transfer your own base to your current home base, and also fix broken load and delete profile buttons when there are 3 or more saved profiles. So the developer's quite active, and there seems to be a release every day or every other day. And so the developer of the app is very active, and he's very passionate about what he's creating, and I believe let me just check something here. Bear with me. So I'm just checking a few things. Yeah, so the developer's very passionate about this plugin, and obviously he wanted to create a plugin because there isn't really a career. There are career apps and stuff you can get for X-Plane Trial, but he wanted to create something that was what he wanted to do. So he's done it, and he's obviously open to the developer's open to suggestions. So he or she, I'm not sure. So he's taking suggestions from the community on the Discord and trying his best to implement their things if they're worth implementing. And like I said, he or she is very hands-on with fixing the app, fixing the plugin. And to be fair, I can't see anything wrong with the plugin. And the developer is obviously using the plugin themselves, and so yeah, I can't find anything wrong with the plugin at all. Anything that you do see seems to get fixed pretty quickly, and I'm going to bring the plugin up shortly, but first I just want to carry on with what I was doing, which was basically here. So it's available on the explain.org shop, which is where you probably buy your usual aircraft or scenery and utilities from for Explain. It's very cheap in the price, and like I said, I'm not quite sure if you can update it on this site, but there is some you can update it within the plugin, I believe. Within, it might be within the actual files system of the app. Let me just bring that over. So if you go into for example, if I bring the downloads down, I've got Explain Career, XP Career 1.4.10 here. If I click on that and click in, you'll see this here, Skunk Crafts Updater. So if you've got that, you can update the app, I believe. So if you want a different version and a new version's come out, you can update the plugin with this here, so it updates it for you. I think I'm correct in that as well. But if you go on the Discord and go to the XP Career Discord page, and there's a very good community on there that can help you, including a developer as well. So if you need any help in about the plugin, I recommend going on the Discord. Yeah, but this is the store page then, and you got the Explain. Keep saying Explain, but it's called XP Career plugin website, and I've shown this before in a previous video. You can buy a full version, or you can try a 7-day demo. Truly recommend getting this 7-day demo to make sure it works on your system, and just to try it out, then you can buy a full version. But for the price and for what it does, and how it carries on being developed, it's I do recommend purchasing this this plugin for Explain 12. It does transform the way you fly in Explain 12, and it gives you a purpose as well. And it's all in game as well in the plugin. It's not, you haven't got to use a web browser or an app outside the game. It's all apps inside your cockpit using the plugins, and I'll show you how to do those in a bit. So yeah, this is the website. I'll put the links to both of those websites in the description, and you've got the Discord as well, but you can easily find the Discord yourself. I'll put a link in the description to the Discord page as well, so you can go onto Discord as well to have a look at that. Okay, so let's bring up the app. I'm just trying to get back to the release pages. There we go. So I'm not going to go too far back with all the release stuff. I'll try and bring a video out with every release version if I can, to keep you updated of what's changed and what's new. I'll quickly run through a lot of this stuff. I have done it in previous videos. If you go to settings, so first of all, once you download the plugin, you put the plugin in your plugin folder in Explain. So you're basically going into wherever your Explain 12 is installed. So for me, it's on the D drive. Explain 12, resources, and plugins, and you drop the Explain Career folder into there. You need something like 7-zip or a tool like that to extract the folder once you download it. But once you put it in your plugin folder, you go into the game, go to plugins, career, XP Career. You need to activate your license, so you'll get a license on your 7-day trial. You need to paste it into there, or if you buy the product, you'll also paste your license into there as well. I'm not going to go into it, but you click on that and you can put your license in there. Then obviously you've got settings here. So settings general gives you currency. At the minute it's set in US dollars. I do need to speak to the developer at the end of the video, because I can't change the currency to anything else apart from US dollars, so I need to speak to the developer to see if we can add more currency in there. But that, if you can do that, that will get changed and updated to more currencies. I'm pretty sure it's on the roadmap already. You got units, metric or imperial, so depending what you want to use. You've got show 3D taxi guidance, so it shows your taxi route before and after landing, before takeoff and after landing. Then you've got show tablet light brake check overlay, which is new. That's new, by the way. That's a new option. So that shows your brake check overlay, I believe. And then job count, I've got it on 50, but you can put it all the way down to here. Minimum distance, so that's the minimum distance you want jobs to load from. Maximum distance, so you can have this all the way up to there. I'm experimenting at the minute with it. I'm not quite sure how far I want to go, but so I'm just experimenting with that. And you got minimum runway length, so it's 1,000 up to 10,000. You can tick asphalt concrete only, so you don't get no grass or gravel or possible beach runways. I don't know, as well. And yeah, job count can go from 50 down to 5. Obviously, the more jobs you generate, the more choice you have. And the aircraft, again, it does it automatically, so it comes up with each aircraft that's found in your directory. It gives it a landing. I think that's landing light, beacon light, and enabled. So you can actually untick and have none of these enabled, and it comes up with your seat configuration as well. So it's done this automatically for you. If you've got any payware or freeware aircraft in there, like I have, for example, the Dornier 328 there, it's gave me 30 seats and ticked it all. So it's picked all that up and done that automatically for you, which is good. And fleet, this is where you can buy. You can buy new aircraft. You can buy used aircraft, and you get a lot of information, like the hours an aircraft's done, the condition, the engine wear, air, and so you get a lot of information and all different kind of prices. So you might have a couple of aircraft that are the same, but the price will be different depending on the hours and the wear of the aircraft. Obviously, if you haven't got enough money, you'll have no funds. If you've got enough money to buy an aircraft, come up, buy. And then once you've bought aircraft, whether it's new or used, they'll be in your fleet. Yeah, I don't own any aircraft at the minute, so I've got none in my fleet. But you can actually choose any one of these, because it's got free starter tickets. So I've not chosen aircraft yet, but because I chose to start with a free aircraft, I can actually choose any one of these to start to purchase. That's my free starter aircraft. It's an option when you start your profile. And then we've got loan management, so you've got all different loans you can use. So if you start with no money, you can take loans out. Or if you want more money, you can take more money out and more loans out. It may depend on reputation, and you got limit 0.1/1, so you might only be able to take one loan out at a time. I've not tried it, but I don't know whether or not you can. There's a restriction on how much you can take out on that one, but that's your loan option. And then if I go into the main window, and if I log out for you guys so you can see what I'm trying to do here. So if you create a new profile, you put your name in there, any name you want, and you can put in there. Your own base, you put your own base location in there. Again, if you know the ID code to the airport, you put it in there. Weight, I guess it's the pilot weight. 80 was default, so I left it on 80. Funds, so you can click on each one of these and it gives you what you want to start with. I chose the top one, which is $100,000, I believe. So I chose that one. Free starter plane, you can tick or untick. And hardcore mode is there. So if you choose hardcore mode, then you get no free starter plane. You get no choice of choosing your money, and freelance mode is not included in hardcore mode. So have a think about that. But I think you can choose. I think you can have multiple profiles anyway. I think you can have more than one profile, so you can have a couple of profiles, one hardcore mode and one non-hardcore mode. So it's up to you. And then you create your profile there, and when you come back to it, if you log out, you can load. When you open XP Career back up, you got your profiles here. I've got one, but if you've got more than one, they'll be down here, and you put load. So you just load, and then once you load into it, you get your money, which is there. If you click on it, it comes up with the loan section, so you haven't got to go back into plugins. You can do it all within the one thing here. Reputation is there. I'm on 0.0 at the minute. And you've got hours, so that's hours spent flying. Your location, so I'm at EINN currently. Aircraft, so I'm in the D328, which is the Dornier 328, and take check ride. Now obviously I've not got a check ride in this Dornier 328 yet, and I've got no hours, so I can't fly this aircraft if I'm not in freelance mode, and I'll explain that shortly. And obviously you've got your version number up here, 1.4.10, and license full. If you're using the demo, it'll be demo, and then the number of days left you've got. So you'll start at 7 and you'll go down to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Until then you would have to purchase the plugin and get a key, and then get a new license, and it comes to full. Down here you've got accepted jobs, weight and balance, so you've got no active jobs at the minute. This is your fuel slider, so you can obviously change how much fuel you want, and once you've got the fuel you want, you set it like so. And so it's in kilograms, and you've got cost, and you've got estimated endurance of the with the fuel. So if I have it on full, I can do about 5.5 hours estimated at 1,485 miles. It just depends how much fuel you need or want. And then you've got down here, you've got aircraft weights, kilograms, empty, and payload. And then your total. And then you've got your seats here, so 0 out of 29 remaining. So you've got remaining 29 seats. And then you've got your jobs. You've got all, cargo, passengers, sight, sky, SAR, which I think might be search and rescue, that might be skydive, that's probably sightseeing. Ban is banners. Air, I'm not quite sure what air is, but maybe it's air show or something like that. And then you've got distance, weight, and pace, so you can change all this to either distance, shortest distance at the top, or longest distance at the top, or you can do it by money, or you can do it by weight. That's your preference. Over here you've got freelance mode, so if I untick freelance mode, I can't do any of these jobs then. See? So if I stay in cargo, we've got a cargo job over to EIIM at 36 miles. There's the pay, 2,654, but NA. So I can't do this job in this aircraft because I've not took a check ride. So the only aircraft I can do jobs in at the minute is the Cessna 172, I believe. Unless it's a 152 in the game, I'm not sure. But yeah, the Cessna 172, because I've got no hours and I've got no check ride, so my starter aircraft if I bought an aircraft, I would buy the Cessna 172 as my starter aircraft, because that's the one I can do jobs in. But you can do a check ride for any aircraft at any point. It just costs money to do it. So you've got money here, and if you take a check ride, you're going to use your money. But the more hours you do in, for example, the Cessna, if you start out with, so if you do 10 hours in the Cessna, the check ride becomes cheaper for another aircraft. So, but there's no limitation on the aircraft. You just got to do a check ride. But I put the suggestion in to do freelance mode, because I thought it'd be a good idea to, because sometimes you just want to fly a particular aircraft, you haven't got a check ride for it, you don't want to buy the aircraft or own the aircraft, you might not want to use the aircraft again, so it's nice just come in, have a game in a particular aircraft and do a meaning flight on the app. So freelance mode gives you that option to do it. And so basically freelance mode, what it does is when you click on it, you get the same job. See? So if I unclick it, see this job here, EIIM, and figure price 2,654. But if I click freelance mode, it's the same job but at reduced cost. It now comes down to 1,990. So you basically get in a reduced, the pay it's reduced by 25%, which is good, because as a freelance job, you're a pilot for hire. You don't own the aircraft, so you're just taking a wage for yourself, basically to fly the route. But if you weren't doing freelance mode, you obviously need more money, because you've got to pay landing fees and charter fees and fuel, etc. But in freelance mode, you don't need to do that. And I think the developers put a discount in because you don't need all extra money, because you're not paying for extra things. So you just take in your cut and take in that. So it's less money, but it's a good option if you want to just use an aircraft that you don't own to do a flight away from the career side of it. But your hours and the money still add up into your career. So if you do then go back into an aircraft that you own and do a career job, you're balancing your reputation and hours have increased, because the freelance mode still adds to that. You just got a 25% reduced payout on it. But it's a good option, and it's an option I suggested, and I'm glad the developers put it in there. And the purpose of this video today is to try it out. And so when you're over in the freelance job, like I said, the base payouts are reduced by 25%, and your location and aircraft will not be saved. So if I fly today to EIIM and I leave the flight there, but then I decide I want to go back into an aircraft that I own. So if I own a Cessna 172 or whatever aircraft I owned, and I then said, no, I'm going to do my next flight, I'm going to do it in my own aircraft that I own. But the game, the plugin doesn't save it to your career, so you haven't got to start the flight from where you last left it in that case, because freelance mode is just a one-off. But if I wanted to carry on from the location where I landed, freelance mode would generate more jobs from that location, and I can do another freelance job. But back to career, I would have to obviously go back to my base location, or where I last left my aircraft in career mode, if you get me. So it's good that it does that, and obviously, like I said, it's not available in hardcore pilot profile modes. So yeah, so that's freelance mode, and I've gone through the pushback detection earlier. And obviously you've got map view there, so map view obviously brings the jobs to you easier. These are all the jobs that you can actually do. So you can you can do a job by using map view if you're not sure where the airports are on the map. So we'll get rid of that, and I'm not quite sure what job I'm doing today, but if you scroll down on all the jobs, you get quite a lot of them, and obviously this one here, EIIM, being the closest. But like I said, come out of freelance mode. I'm not going to come out of freelance mode, but if I did, I won't be able to do them jobs. So I'm already liking freelance mode already. You can set the fuel like so, like that. We'll worry about that in a bit. Now, so the job we've got is EIIM. Now, if I was to bring up the settings jobs like this, and I clicked on max distance, for example, see the job screen there all changing. So it's changing to the jobs, the distance I want to do, and the same with this one. So if I keep it at 5, then obviously it's going to do jobs from where I am now and come back to where I am now, which would be like skydiving and stuff like that. But if I want to say the minimum distance a bit further away, you can do as well. So I'm going to keep it on 5. I'm going to put this one back down to 100 for now, and let's see what's available. So EIIM is available, and EIR is also available, and I don't know exactly where those are. EIIM, I'm not going to do that in this aircraft. Because I think that's a bit, I think those airports are quite small. But you can change the runway length of airports as well. EICL is one I could do there, or I can do this one here. Now obviously this map here, you can zoom in, but the map in X-Plane isn't the greatest, so you can zoom in like so on the map. But I do recommend getting a little nav map, and if I bring a little nav map onto the screen here, so EICL then is there. So if I bring a little nav map onto the screen, we'll get rid of this flight. We've got a nav map, so we're going to be starting down here in EINN, which is down here. So click on that, and we're going to say start as departure, and then we're going to go to EILCL, which is somewhere over. You've also got these ones as well, see the XCI 0024 and stuff like that, so they're on here as well, which is, they're also on this map as well in the plugin. So if you're not sure what they are, for example, you can zoom in on them, and you can look at them as well like that. And so there's one here, look, see, Taggart's Airfield. So you can zoom in on it, and it gives you your runway information, and it's grass, and any parking. So a little nav map is quite good, especially for your general aviation kind of flights, especially on this career plugin as well, because it gives you a bit more information with the airports. But I think the developer is going to put that in anyway, giving more information to the actual airfields and stuff like that. So again, EICL is grass, and yeah, I'm not quite sure we can actually go on that one. So what we got down here, we've got EIR down here, or we got EIKY down there. So let's just get rid of that one, and let's look what we had at EIKY. So we've got air. I only want to do cargo, so EIR. So look at that one. I had a job lined up on it, but I lost it, so I had to restart again. So that's grass as well. Yeah, so I'm just a bit stuck now to what job to choose in this aircraft. Do you reckon I could land this aircraft on the grass? We could try it, I suppose. EIR. Let's have a look at that one again, because that's the closest. It's down here, so that is actually the closest. I don't want to do a major long flight. Should we we'll try this one, see if we can land it. And you set that as our destination. So we're going to do a direct, and when we get there we'll have a circle round, and we'll see if we can actually land it for this one. But I know there's a lot of new stuff coming as well, which I can discuss shortly. Yeah, so we'll accept this one. Obviously, whichever one you want to accept. So we'll accept that one. And it's got max weight exceeded, so you just need to reduce the fuel basically until you're underweight. And you can, I believe you can, well no, we've got no room right now, but if we had more room on the aircraft we probably could have chosen another job going to the same place as well, so you could do a couple and get more money, I believe. But obviously we've got not enough weight left on it, so it won't let you fly it if you haven't got the weight. But obviously I've got too much fuel on at the minute, so I probably could reduce the fuel and add more jobs onto it, but I'll leave it at that for now, because I think I've spoken too much at the minute. So let's just get rid of the map there. Let me just bring up little nav map again. I don't think there's any ILS's on here. What's the best runway to land on? Probably runway 15. Let's go for runway 15. Do that. So we're gonna go. Let me just bring it back over. My little nav map, I mean, not the not that. Got a nav map. So we're going to be landing on runway 15. So I'm just trying to get a flight plan. Set destination, so 15. There we go. See, and I'm not going to use SimBrief on this video. I'm just going to fly like this. I'm not going to use SimBrief. On this one, but I can tell you that there's a lot of stuff on the roadmap and a lot of stuff that the developer is actually going to be implementing into the plugin, and what's coming into into the plugin. I'm not sure when, but it's the big item on the future roadmap, and it's going to be a company management side to the plugin. So you eventually will be able to own multiple bases, and you'll be able to hire AI pilots and employees, and those pilot employees will be able to fly some routes for you for passive income. So you'll get income from the AI pilots that will be flying routes for your company as well. So you can obviously expand your company by buying more planes, hiring pilots to fly those planes. I'm not quite sure whether those pilots find their own jobs or whether you have to source them jobs and give them jobs. It would be kind of fun if you could have both options, maybe as an option that you can. So if you wanted to have more of a management side to it, where you want to do things yourself, so you could find your pilots other jobs, or whether, and sometimes an option where pilots would find their own jobs, maybe to make, if you didn't want to all spend all the time managing. I'm not quite sure if you can hire other employees like base managers or maintenance managers, stuff like that. Maybe that will come as well as part of this. And obviously you can also, I believe you'll be able to schedule your own routes as well at some point. So you'll be able to have a small airline company that might grow into a big airline company, and you can create your own schedules from base to any airport, and either back to base or to another airport, and stuff like that. So all that stuff is coming in the XP Career plugin. Not quite sure when all that's coming, but it is on the roadmap, and the developer, if he says it's on the roadmap, and he's probably already thinking about how he's going to do it, or already working on it. So again, I can't give you an estimate on when that stuff will come in, but it's good that it's there. And yeah, so the app itself is actually going to get better and better over time. So it's it could become potentially one of the better or the best career apps for X-Plane. And like I said, the creation of the management, like hiring staff, building FBOs and creating routes and stuff like that, that's going to be a nice addition to the plugin when it comes as well. But it's whether or not it could become too much if you had to do everything yourself. So maybe there might be a way that you could have both, to make one to have a bit more automated, so someone like a manager can sort stuff out for you in the background, or for the user that wants to be more hands-on can also do it all themselves as well. So it'd be nice if there's an option to do both ways as well going forward. But yeah, so it's good that all that's coming. I wanted to put that point out in this video. So yeah, so we're going to do a freelance job. Obviously we're not going to be going that far, so I'm going to show you how basically how to do the job from start to finish. And obviously we've still got to get the aircraft started up, so we'll go ahead and we'll start the aircraft up now. But if you click on this button here, you can obviously move that out the way and put it onto a second screen if you've got one. So I'm just going to start the Dornier up. We're going to open the door. This is not a tutorial on how to start the Dornier. I've got plenty of videos on this aircraft, but I'll try and explain as I go along with it. So we're going to open the door there, and we're going to jump inside like so, and the wipers are off, landing gear is down, thrust levers are idle, parking brake is on, and the gust lock is on, should be on, but it was off by default. And I'm going to go to the overhead, and on the overhead we want to put both batteries 1 and 2 to on, like so, and DC tie needs to press to on, so the white line goes that way. Generators left and right, press to on, both of those on. AC tie, that needs to go there, you go, click it. Inverters 1 and 2 both on. Navigation lights, they can go on because we're in the aircraft. Logo light is as required, and external power can go on. That now shows in white. You may need to go into ground handling window and request ground service connect power, which you can do that there in this aircraft, and then obviously then just get rid of it. So propeller de-ice off. The ice bleeds on if the ice protection panel bleed buttons. Press both and A of the center line appear, so the de-ice ones can go. There we go. The bleeds. Auto feather, press to on. Now I've got to find the auto feather. There it is. There we go. Well, there's nothing about the packs yet. Expired, there we go. Nothing about the packs yet, is there? We're going to switch those on anyway. There we go. So we're not going to go through all that. So let's go back down to the position 1. Ground spoilers. Ground spoilers found at the bottom of the center pedestal. So let's get rid of that. There we go. Click that on. We're not gonna worry about ATC or boarding, so we're not gonna do any of this either, because we're just gonna basically follow the little map. So we're not gonna worry about that. On the autopilot panel, we can put the flight directors on. I believe they are on already. Let's get rid of those warnings. We can set the altitude. We can use the autopilot. We can kind of use it a little bit if you want to. Get the VS there as well. There we go. And let's see. We can sync the heading. We are in. We need to go into. Well, we don't have to go into FMS mode because we're not going to be using FMS mode, so that's fine. Speed. Flight level change. VNAV. We're not going to be using VNAV or navigation today. We ain't got to worry about any of that in this particular video. Back on the overhead panel, we're going to put the signs to auto. There we go. And down here at the center pedestal, we can actually close door. Back on the overhead panel, we want to put these fuel pumps on. The beacon light can now go on. And before I go any further, I'm going to just bring the app back over the plugin, and we're going to do this. Click on Fly Now. And we just so it comes up with this, and obviously that what I just showed you there, that used to be called Forecast, but now it's been changed to Fly Now, because I think it may have been confusing a lot of users that didn't know how to start a job. Once they chose a job, they didn't know how to start the flight sequence. I did one in my first video, and I did the entire route from start to finish without I accepted the job, but I didn't go to the forecast and press Fly Now. So it's been brought into the main screen, so it's a lot easier to see. And once you click on that, you obviously get this page here, which would have been the forecast one when you clicked on it, and it obviously gives you your information there. And then you click on Fly Now, and then it come up with this. See, freelance mode, engines off, ready to load. So like I said, in freelance mode, you can use any aircraft you want from any location. You can abort a job, or you can load. So we're going to load. We get some background information, noises, which is pretty good. Once that's done, then it says ready, engine start. So you can carry on doing your checklist, getting the aircraft ready to start. So I'll put the beacons on already. We're not going to push back today because we don't need to, but what I need to do is start the APU. The fuel pumps are both on. So the APU master needs to go to on. Where's the APU master? Just need to find the APU master. This is the job when you don't use an aircraft for a while. You forget where stuff is. Oh, it's up here. So the APU master go on. So the APU I can start, and then I can put the generator APU on there. Okay, let's get rid of that. So I now need to start the engine. So start selector, right engine start. So we go like that. Okay, I've got to press start ignition. And we can put the ignition lever into lever. There we go. We can do the same for the left engine. As you can see, we've passed the bar beacon and we've passed the parking brake set, but if we were pushing back and starting the engines while we were pushing back, we still would have passed the parking brake set because a new logic has been put into the plugin to recognise that, which is good. Engines have now started, so we can click those back to off. We can turn that off. We can turn the master APU off. So we don't need that. Windshield can go on. Probes can go on. Standby mode can go on. DC tie can go off. Left and right packs are both on. APU bleed is now off over here, we don't need that on. The APU has been stopped. The APU generator is off. Taxi light can go on. Regular light can go on. Then I put that on. And we can set flaps. There we go. And if I bring up Avitab, I don't think it's going to find this airport that we're going to, but we can try it. X E I A R D. Let's try and search for that. Just bring it up. Okay, so we can get. We don't need to worry about it. We don't need that. There's nothing else we need to do, I don't think, in this aircraft. Get rid of the external power. Disconnect that. We don't need that on. So where are we going to taxi to? So let me just move this over here so you guys can look at that, and we're going to start our taxi. So parking brake can go off, master caution, go. So we're going to go over this way. And you have to excuse my lying in this aircraft. I'm not gonna go to, I don't know what runway we're meant to be departing from, but I'm not going to do the flight very realistically. I'm just going to demonstrate going from one airport to the other. So let's get to the runway. Here we go. Now, of course, you can use ATC and stuff like that if you want to. That's completely up to yourselves. I ain't doing it tonight in this video because I've not really prepared the aircraft properly. I've not even used Turbo Tracker as I've done this. I'll put it on now though. So we're gonna just gonna take off from here. I'm not gonna go back. I'm not gonna backtrack. I'm just gonna line the aircraft up and fly. So this video is basically about the app more than the aeroplane. Okay, just going to cycle through the fuse, get rid of the Turbo Tracker. So these are all my fuse I've got set up for it. But ain't got to worry about that. So let me just bring up the route. So yeah, so we're gonna take off. Let's just go. Let's set power. No, we can't set power yet. Let's get that off. Additional levers can go all the way up. Got flaps set. So watch your speed. Say taxi to runway and take off. So let's take off. Okay, get rid of that. Get the parking brake off. There we go, let's take off, get the gear up. And we need to be going in this direction. Like I said, excuse my flying in this video. If you can see on the screen up there on the XP Korea tablet, it's now saying en route. So it's recognised we've took off. We've passed beacon start, we've passed parking brakes set at startup, we've passed the taxi guides takeoff, we've passed the active runway takeoff, and we've passed the centre line. If you were doing a check ride, you would have passed all that, which is good. Okay, I'm going to stick the autopilot on here, and like so, sink the head in. The altitude is 2,000, put down to 2,000 feet, so we need to bring it down a little bit. And head in, we're gonna just turn to the right slightly. Okay, let me just bring the sound down a little bit. So while the aircraft's flying now, like I said, the app, the tablet, up here saying en route. So it's tracking our flights at the minute. And a little nav map is so we're here at the minute, so we're coming over trying to follow this line on the old nav map. So yeah, so I think the developer is going to integrate SimBrief into the plugin as well. So SimBrief will come, so you'll be able to send, once you've accepted a flight plan, you'll be able to send that off to SimBrief. And once you load it into SimBrief, then you can load it into your FMC as well. So that'd be good for longer flights. Don't need it in this flight this evening, but for longer flights, you'll need it. So the developers also going to be doing that as well. And yeah, so so there's a lot going on, and a lot of new stuff that will be implemented into the app. And I know, for example, insurance premiums is billed every 3 flight hours. I know there was a question asked about that. So if your aircraft is totaled, the max you will pay to fully repair it is 10k. So there's a lot of questions on the Discord, so definitely recommend going on Discord and reading the information that's on Discord, and obviously asking the community on Discord if there's any questions that you want to ask. So yeah, I definitely recommend getting this plugin for X-Plane. Obviously, we're in a 30-seater airliner today, and it's a freelance side, so a freelance job, so we're able to do it. But you can obviously use airliners as well, and you can use anything from a Cessna 152, 172, etc. up to a 747. So you can use any aircraft you want, and like I said, in freelance mode, you've got a lot more freedom to use any aircraft you want from any location, and which is really good. I'm just going to bring my altitude down here a little bit. So So yeah, obviously you can move this onto a second screen as well if you want to. You can move it across so it's out the way. You haven't got to keep it on the same screen. I'm not sure if the developer's going to implement this into a tablet like this that's built into an aircraft, or you can select to have in an aircraft. So maybe it might be, I'm not quite sure if the developer's thinking about doing anything like this. It would be nice if it actually could have it in the aircraft like this, rather than have it on a screen here as an overlay. You could put it into a tablet built into the cockpit. Again, it's a suggestion I've just thought of, so I could ask the developer if that's something that could be done, and if it can be done, the developer will actually will do it. If he can do it, it'll be done. He'll try and his best, is or he or she's best to implement it. Because like I said, there's a lot of new features coming to the plugin, and
1,000.
I'm just trying to check where we are. So yeah, that's fine. Yes, because there's a lot of new features coming to the plugin, and when the developer of the plugin has anything new to show, I'll show it on these videos. Whether it be a quick video just going through what's new, explaining how to do stuff, or whether it be a short flight, like I'm doing today, which isn't the best flight for me, but I just want to get to the destination airport and show the process of finishing the flight. I'm still not sure whether I'm going to be able to land the aircraft on the grass runway, but we shall see. So yeah, I'm actually going up. I'm actually at 1,000 feet at the minute, which is very unrealistic. But yeah, so excuse my flying. In this video. We even got ground spoilers aren't okay. We'll leave it all as it is. I'm not doing a realistic flight. Just gonna watch my watch the speed. So yeah, so what I was saying, it would be nice if the plugin could be implemented into an actual tablet like this, where you could actually select another tablet in the aircraft, like the Avitab tablet. So I'll hopefully that could be done, but that would be good if you could have that. But this ain't too bad either. This is okay. Like I said, it's all part of the game. It's all in the game. So when you put the plugin in the game, you can do everything from in the game. You haven't got to alt tab or go onto a web browser like other career apps. You can do it all within the actual game itself, which is a really good feature. I need to concentrate now because we are getting close to the airfield, and it's a grass strip, so I'm gonna have to try and watch out for it. So I won't talk about the plugin too much now. I'm just going to try and concentrate on getting the aircraft down on the ground. So we're doing our heading, we should be doing, actually just change that to 242. There we go. Just watch our speed. We don't want to crash, do we? Yeah, so those that are interested in the Dornier 328, it's a freeware mod. I'll put the link in the description to the aircraft, but I have done various videos with this aircraft that are a lot more detailed and realistic than this one, with the startup procedure. I just wanted to have another flight in it tonight and use the XP Career app while doing it. But I'll come back to the Dornier and do a more realistic flight in it at some point. But I have done other videos with it. If you just check the channel or go in the playlist, and at the end of the video the playlist will pop up for the Dornier 328, and also the Explain 12 playlist will pop up. So if you have a look in that, you'll be able to see a few videos with this aircraft on tutorials using a checklist that I've written up myself. So yeah, go and take a look at those if you want to learn how to use this this aircraft. Okay, so we should be we're going to be doing a left turn soon. If I bring it on that map back over, there we go. If I bring up the map on Explain, we're over here, see? And we're obviously going here to this destination. Got a bit of weather around us as well. I think there's only one parking spot at this airfield, possibly. But yeah, just get that off the screen at the minute. Well, I'm going to bring the gear down. I'm going to get the aircraft ready to land. It is raining, so there's some bad weather around at the minute. But fingers crossed we'll be okay. So once you make a left turn, the course is 150, so we want to be on a heading of 150 once you make that left turn. So if I come off heading mode and change the put the heading on 150. Once you go back onto heading mode, it should turn to heading of 150. We should put us in line with the runway, hopefully. So we're coming up to that left turn now, fairly soon. Oh, it's just a grass runway, so it's going to be really hard to see as well. So let's make that turn. Okay, we just need to give it a bit more speed. Yep. No. Okay. You didn't like that. That's okay. We'll take over. I'll come in manual now because the airfield is not going to be too far actually in front of us. So I'm going to come in manually. Let's get the autopilot off. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's go to this option here. I want to bring it.
Sync rate.
Okay, where is the airfield? We've got the landing gear down, haven't we? Yes, we have. So where is the airfield? Well, it should be. Should be over here somewhere. Where are you? That's that the airfield down there? Could be actually.
Sync rate.
Yeah.
Sync rate.
Don't know you did the wipers, so I've left the wipers as they are. There's the airfield there.
Sync rate.
Yes, sync rate. Yeah, okay, that wasn't there. That's fine. That's fine. It's perfectly fine. Let's just get the aircraft slowed down. And see that blue stuff that just come up on the screen there? I know it wasn't the best landing. It wasn't the best landing I've ever done. It was just a rushed landing and approach. Let's get that off the screen. See that? That's where we got to park. But if you taxi in, so if I go, let's just go further down. Let's go to outside view. And I can show you better. Let's go further down the runway. We've got one engine. But we need to start the left engine back up again. We've got one engine there, so let's just put those down to feather. Like that. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if the left engine's going to restart. Let's just turn those off. Turn the strobe off. The left engine's not going to start, is it? Okay, so we'll have to try and do this on one engine, which ain't going to be easy. Shouldn't have chose this aircraft really to do this because I've been a long time since I've flown it, and now I can't move it. Yeah, I shouldn't have chose this aircraft to do this job. It doesn't like anything. what am I doing wrong here? Yeah, you sent the app, by the way. This is just me. On this trying to use this aircraft, which is not working now. It's completely stuck in the ground here. I can't move it. Can't get it reverse. Now both engines are shutting down. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna reset it. Why both engines shutting down? Okay. Yeah. Trying to show you how to finish the job, and now the aircraft's stuck in the ground. Yeah, so basically then, what would have happened was we would have landed, and we would have taxied off the runway to parking, took a blue square, but the blue square would have had a blue line going all the way from the end of the runway, showing us which way we would need to taxi, and then we taxi into the blue square basically. Obviously I can't do that now because yeah, I can't do that now because obviously the game's just crashed, which is nothing to do with the plugin, by the way. That's just the aircraft. There's something going on with the X-Plane 12 and the aircraft this evening. I don't know what's going on with it. It's not the plugin, so it's probably it's got nothing to do with the XP Career plugin. It's basically it might have been the aircraft, the Dornier 328, I'm not sure, but it might have just been me because I'm trying to rush through the video and I got stuck in the ground there, so it's I'm just loading up X-Plane again here. But yeah, yeah, X-Plane, yeah, it crashed there because when I landed the aircraft I got stuck in the ground. And, so it wasn't a great flight. Like I said, I just wanted to get a flight out there showing the app, but that wasn't the best flight in order for me to have shown you. But I'm going to go back to the parking and show you what would have happened if I had parked. Now I think the plugin itself has probably stopped now, so I can't finish that. I won't be able to finish that job. But I'll just try and explain what would have happened if the if I did have an unexpected CTD again. But yeah, well, yeah, these things happen. Anyway, so yeah, so when we landed, obviously it was a terrible landing, by the way. It was horrible. After I was rushing it, I didn't really want to. I shouldn't have used the aircraft for this demonstration really today. I should use a smaller Cessna or something. I just wanted to show you the freelance side of it. But what would happen? We would have landed, and if you had done a better landing and got stuck in the ground there, the blue line would have taxied us basically off the runway using the taxiway up to the square box. Obviously, if you had used a bigger airport with taxiways, etc., that would be you'd see it a lot better, and then you would have come to the in parked in the blue box. You would have shut down the engines, etc. Then you would have brought up the career, and you would have obviously stopped the job, except because you've reached your location, and your money, your reputation, and the hours would have increased up here, etc. Obviously, we can't do that now because the app's restarted, and I've lost that progress of that job. But as you can see, the location is where we are now, up here. But if I wanted to continue now in freelance mode, we could obviously do another job back to where we come from, or a search and rescue job, or another cargo job, etc. For some reason, this Dornier free-to-air is not loading up passengers jobs, but that's the aircraft. That's not the plugin. That's the aircraft itself. If I was in a different aircraft rather than this one, it would work with the passengers. So that's just the aircraft causing that issues. But yeah, we could have done another job from here, or you could go back into one of your own aircraft and done a career mode, but then your location wouldn't be where you would start from. But yeah, so I just wanted to do a quick flight. It wasn't obviously the best ending, but that wasn't down to the plugin. That was down to the aircraft, or something else going on in the game. It wasn't down to the actual plugin. But if I just go into this and choose a different aircraft, so if I choose so you got Cessna Skyhawks, in you. So if I choose the Cessna Skyhawk, which I think is and I've got a mod in here, so I don't really want to mess around too much with that. But if I just choose that airport and that location, I'll confirm that. So yeah, I shouldn't have used that aircraft today. But I wanted to demonstrate that you could use any aircraft with freelance mode. That was the main demonstration of the flight. Really didn't really bother about the flight. Okay, we didn't complete the job, but I just wanted to demonstrate what freelance mode was. But something going on with the sim, I know that. Anyway, here we go. So here we go, it's loaded up. So we're in the Cessna, and as you can see up here, we've got the location still the same, but now it's changed to the Cessna aircraft. And obviously you get the passenger jobs. So with the Dornier free-to-air, it's a freeware mod. You can use it, as we've just seen. It could have been the aircraft that was causing the crash, which it probably did. So it probably isn't the best aircraft to use, as it's freeware and it's probably a bit outdated. But I kind of like the aircraft, so well, I'll ask the developer if they can have a look at the aircraft with the app, because I quite like the aircraft for freeware. But yeah, so but again, this is a stock aircraft, and this one loads up the passengers. So it was basically the aircraft that was causing the issues with basically with the app or stuff then. or the aircraft is probably a little bit outdated, so it probably caused the crash even if it wasn't using the career app. So yeah, so I'm going to do another video at some point using a more stock aircraft and go through it again. But I think I've got the point across about the freelance mode. So I'm going to leave the video here. I'm going to put the link in the description to the XP Career app and the store website where you can purchase it from as well. You can also purchase off the website with the 7-day free trial. I'll put the Dornier in the air as well, but it's up to you whether you're going to download it, because I think there might be a few issues with it, with the Dornier aircraft. So it's up to you whether you want to try the aircraft out. But yeah, with the app, I'd definitely recommend downloading it, giving it a try on the 7-day free trial, and then purchasing it, and then going to Discord and getting involved with the community. And because the plugin itself is only going to get better, and it's a really evolving plugin where the developer's really hands-on and really got a lot of own ideas. And like I said, the roadmap for it is pretty good as well. You have a lot with a company side coming to it, and SimBrief probably integration coming to it. So yeah, I definitely recommend at least trying the 7-day free trial on the XP Career app, and but you will like it. So I'm gonna leave the video there, and because I've just gone on longer than what I wanted to, but I'll leave it there. So into the next video, yeah, and then I'll see you soon.